need someone to clap. What was that?
That was bad.
Do you know how to clap?
No.
Like your hands are too moist or something?
They are very moisturized.
Why are you hitting like this?
I don't know, man.
You put your fingers in your palm.
It's better.
Has no one ever taught you how to clap?
No, not really. I mean, I just did what I saw everybody else doing. Sometimes I see people do this. I don't know.
Oh no, yeah, I always know a girl who was she was like on a cheerleading team or something like that because they always clap the same way.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Watch a lot of Bring It On. Not the sequels, though, just the first movie.
Engage.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Winners Don't Use Drugs, presented by Engage Gaming, episode 98. I'm Darius here with Nolan.
Morning.
Still at an 85.
Sure.
And the ghost of Zach.
Huh?
You're a ghost because they can't see you.
We're just repeating old jokes now?
Yeah.
Is that what we've come to?
trying to keep the all the stuff on tuck for episode 100. So start bringing out the big guns then.
The live episode.
Yeah, the live episode.
Yeah.
I mean, I can hit live right now.
I mean,
Zach's the technical producer, so that'll be his whole realm. We'll do a test for 99 then. How about that? Test it out and then we'll know for sure. But how you feeling, Zach?
Good, chilling.
Yeah. You enjoying some of these new releases like Armored Core?
There's too many games.
Yeah.
Too many games.
They keep showing more.
I have to play like an hour here, hour there.
yeah.
Switch between the games to satisfy everybody. Not even myself. It's just what people want me to play at this point.
You just jumping from here, give it a little bit of this, give it a little bit of that. You want the whole thing.
No, Armored Core came out, Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought
Pretty
it was
good.
going to be out like you had to wait till like Friday night to play it for some reason.
Oh, no. It was Thursday, like midday.
Yeah.
Thursday at like 5 or something like that.
And it's pretty good. I was really confused at first because people kept on saying how hard Armored Core is supposed to be, and like you'll fail a mission, you have to go and reconstruct your mech. I'm like, I took the base mech or AC, whatever the fuck you want to call it,
Yeah.
all the way through the whole first chapter, and was like, what the fuck? Like, why are people saying this is hard? And then I got to the first boss, like the chapter 1 boss, and that's my only complaint is. The normal missions are so easy that I can just sleep through them, and then they crank it up to like 11 for a boss. So, and I think that what makes the boss harder is that you're so used to everything being a cakewalk, and then you get to the boss and it's a lot harder.
They lull you into the sense of false security.
Yeah. Now the first boss took me about 10 to 15 tries. It didn't take me a super long time. It was the first time I ever changed my AC.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that's like the first skill check. I think every chapter boss is like a big skill check because that's the same thing with the second one. I think it took me a little bit longer on the second one. I actually had to make drastic changes. So the first one, I only changed like guns around.
Yeah.
The second one, I changed drastically, like my legs and arms and all that stuff. But I don't know. I also think the first time in the game, because there's a bunch of like halfway bosses and stuff that you play, and they're not too bad. But the second boss, second chapter boss, the sea spider, I felt was cheating.
Why do you feel like it was cheating?
So it would, lift up to a slam down, and I would dodge, and mid slam it like changes its trajectory to hit me, and I'm like, I don't mind losing. But I don't like losing when I feel like I'm getting cheated.
Yeah. It's like controller reading.
Yeah, I feel like it's cheating to make it feel like it's supposed to be hard.
Mm.
It's
Oh,
like,
no.
I don't want to play that.
Yeah.
But eventually I beat it by cheating it, but
You
not
want to cheat?
cheating, but
Yeah.
I
Most times. with stuff
stayed
like
up in
that.
the air where he couldn't even touch me. It's like,
Aha.
but I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
Now I've heard like I'm not gonna play it, not at least anytime soon. Not because I don't want to, but because too many things to play.
Yeah.
And I watched Jake play a decent, not decent amount, but I watched him. I'm like, yeah, it looks exactly what I thought it would look like in play.
He said he was really close to uninstalling.
Wow.
So
He spent 6 hours on that first chapter boss.
It's tough.
he, well, the thing too was, and I agree with him when he was first starting. It was like there was like every time he moved, it was like, hey, you want to do this? Hey, you want to do that? Like,
the tutorial
yeah.
pop-ups? Yeah.
And it was like, you know,
kind of breaks the immersion.
it does, because he's trying to just, test the controls, and you could put things on the HUD without stopping it.
Well, the stupid thing is you go through the you want to go through the training because you unlock different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to do that as soon as you can.
And like they tell you all that stuff in the training. So why not just make people go through the training and do all that and not in the actual regular missions?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want, make them go through the training.
Exactly.
Like this is the beginning game. You're going to go through this training. Once you're done with the training, you'll get into them, and then you can like immerse yourself into the world. But yeah, and to his point, it kind of just takes you out of it.
Oh no, it definitely
Mid-mission.
and there was no like indicator that it was gonna pop up. So like he would be
it
doing
was just
something. And it's
randomly.
just,
Yeah, you hit like that invisible checkpoint.
exactly. Yeah.
And it's like, all right, here's the next tutorial. Like, no.
And like one time it was like it was telling him to do the thrust. So he's like, oh, okay, it's like, yeah, you could do this, like, what is it, like the overcharge dash or whatever.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Assault something.
And as soon as he pressed it, like it was like and pop up. And he's like, wait, I barely even got started with the
Right,
motion.
you let me miss out this really cool moment in the game and with a fucking pop up.
Just to be like, oh yeah, so this, because we told you to do it, and then this is what it does, because that's what you did, and that's why we
Yeah,
did.
fucking malware on your AC.
Yeah, I go to some questionable sites between missions, so it was bound to happen.
Yeah. Britney Spears nude.exe.
That was oddly specific, man.
That was just an example.
What you know about experience.
No. What was the big thing? It was like
I don't know.
Hey man, I would listen. My LimeWire was AN1 videos, Dragon Ball VC videos.
It might have been like the Pam Anderson tape or something.
Oh yeah, that definitely was on.
And it would be like whatever the name .mp4 .exe, and it's like that's a virus, dude. Well, no, it says exe at the end.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a virus.
I did get caught like that with Mega Man X4 because it said exe.exe. And I was like, yeah, I got Mega Man 4 now. And then I had to system restore that PC. So. Good times.
Yeah, but anyway,
what have you thought? You got a chance to play it too?
yeah. Oh, I'm loving it so far. I mean, all the stuff you said was correct. It does start off kind of easy. I don't know. To me, the first little mini boss, the helicopter, because that first stage is so easy. Like almost everything dies in one hit, and it's like, oh well, this isn't so bad. But it really is like the older games, because the older games were kind of like that too. The enemies that you fight.
Yeah, grunts are grunts.
Yeah, the grunts one thing. Then all of a sudden you fight a different core shows up, and the difficulty back then.
I thought all the cores have been really simple. It's the big bosses that I've had issues with.
That's like the big difference between this game and the other games, because in the older Armored Core games you would fight the grunts. A lot of times you would fight a core, then you might fight something a little more intricate, or something that had extra guns, extra legs, stayed up in the air, something like that. Main difference with this game is that they've learned a lot from the Souls games, and they basically put Souls bosses in a mech game.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
yeah. I can see that.
Because I was watching Ace Combat fight the end of the Chapter 1 boss last night, and he was doing it for hours by the time I called him.
Which one?
The Chapter 1 boss, the one with the missiles and
Oh, okay.
all of
It
that.
shoots like a million missiles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the missiles and the flame sword thing.
Oh yeah, the flame sword.
Yeah, the flame swords. Yeah, so I
That's what was cooking Jake, was the flame sword.
I had beat him the night before with 1 AP left.
Whew.
I had 1 hit point left.
Would you have the terminal armor or something?
Yeah,
That's why he had the 1 AP left.
That's what saved it, because all of a sudden he hit me, and I looked up and I realized he had like just like a life left, but everything was empty. And I was just slamming on all the buttons, like something shoot, please. The shield went away. I was right next to him. I thought for sure he was about to swing his sword or something. And I don't know what shot, but I just hit all the buttons until he exploded. And I was like, ah. So yeah, but that was rough. And then I watched somebody else fight the big thing that they've shown before with the it's like a big construction mining vehicle or something with the fire arm things. And that boss, more than anything else, is like, yeah, this is something straight out of a Souls game. You know, replace those mechanical arms with fire swords, same thing. just the way it moved, the way it all of a sudden comes all the way across the screen at you. It's just like, yeah, they definitely learned a thing or two about boss fights.
Yes,
from the Soul games. And I like how they have the stun meter bar thing from
the stagger bar.
Yeah, they got that from Sekiro. So I mean, straight from it. That's exactly how it works in that game too.
The only difference between this game and the Souls games is, like, in the Souls games, sure, people that are expert at Souls games won't find this comparable, but like in the Souls games, all the enemies are tough. All the enemies can kill you.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah,
like grunts will give you the beats.
Right.
Yeah.
If you fuck up, you're gonna get killed by a grunt. In this game, I feel like there's no chance a grunt's gonna kill you.
If you aren't
go
careful.
AFK.
Well, yeah.
I gotta go take a piss. Oh, I forgot to pause it. Oh, I'm dead.
They got me. They got me down.
There was a couple of times some enemies showed up behind me, and I went from 9 to 4,000 AP. Like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, but then you're able to heal. They don't like one shot you though.
Yeah, and being able to heal in this game is nice. Something else they pull from.
I was watching Jake play, and he was like,
"Wait, so you couldn't heal in the past games?"
Oh no.
Okay, so that's why they were so much more difficult.
Yeah,
and being able to heal in this game makes it super simple.
Yeah, because like the whole thing about we were saying before, you thought it was gonna be like you start a mission, you die, you retool your whole thing, because you had to have because you couldn't heal, right? So you had to have the actual weapons that were the most effective and like efficient at getting rid of all the grunts. Because
you can change your weapons mid mission too.
Yeah, in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is also nice.
Yeah. So you can have your weapons that you need all the way up until you get to the boss, and then you can just retool everything.
Just retool it, yeah.
As long as the only thing you can't buy parts.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the whole thing about like constantly doing a whole mission over. Was like, yeah, I got to this part, and they had some sort of turret or something that was specifically designed, because I've been hovering this. I thought the hover thing was the best, but now these turrets are like made to take out people that hover. So now I got to go back, start the mission over, and fix it. I need treads now.
Yep. And then you got to play it through the whole stage again, because checkpoints. What's a checkpoint?
Yeah. They honestly did a lot of things that weren't necessarily to make the game easier, but it's like quality of life things to this one. Yeah.
Which just stuff that you would expect from a more modern game.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
but the actual difficulty of the bosses and stuff like that, and I can see where people were, like you said, if you play Souls games and you're used to having to deal with the grunts being a threat, but in this game you don't feel that, and then all of a sudden now you're dealing with threat, and it's like, hey, this is it's kind of pulling the rug from under my legs type of thing.
Yeah, that's my only complaint is I wish I have no problems with the difficulty of the bosses. I just wish the rest of the game imitated that as well. Maybe did they keep are the grunts or the whatever you want to call them, are they about the same difficulty as the previous games? The only thing that's different is that you can heal. Maybe they didn't anticipate it being
for the most part it's pretty much like that.
So maybe they didn't anticipate the heal being so powerful.
There was usually just a lot of them.
Yeah,
sometimes you could just fly right past them and go straight to the boss.
And I haven't played any of the game, but the things that I've seen, even watching like other streamers and stuff, there doesn't seem to be as many like concentrations of grunts, because there was a thing where it'd be like
Yeah, they show you how to lock on to a bunch of different enemies, but then you hardly ever fight more than 3. So it's like,
Because they would have, and maybe it's in some of the later stages, people just hadn't gotten to it.
It was actually a pretty good amount at the wall stage when you had the
that was probably
and those turrets. Now the big turrets that fire the big shots from far away, and you think, oh, okay, I'm sliding along the ground. I just took out those guys behind me. I'm doing good. Oh.
Bam!
Well, that's why you stay behind cover.
I didn't know I should be behind cover. That thing was a mile away. And that's definitely one thing too. The size of the stages, like early in the game, too, is like the scale and scope kind of goes from to all of a sudden. Like, what the heck?
Changes a lot because the first mission.
Like the first mission is kind of big.
Open.
Yeah, it's pretty open. Kind of gets you used to everything, and then like the second mission,
super linear.
And then all of a sudden, one stage, I guess the first time you fight a core as a boss, I guess they figured they would just leave that as it is. That's like a. I finished that stage in under two minutes because I defeated it, thinking, okay, what's next? And it's like, all right,
the mission.
Good job. It's like, that's the whole mission.
Yeah, I've had
you
a
jump
lot of
off
those
a cliff, fight the core, and that's it.
Yeah, there's a lot of those missions I feel like are like a minute, 2 minutes long.
Yeah,
man. You got to get some wins under your belt to build your confidence back up.
That's part of it. Is like this feels super simple and super easy, and then here's Beltius or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
He's about to put it in your ass for the next hour or two.
The
strap in, bud.
The cloaked ones messed me up a little bit too.
Oh, see, I thought those were simple too.
Really?
Yeah, they died in like one shot.
Whenever I could find them, and then that boss wasn't fun either.
Well, that's what you use a machine gun. You just spray everywhere and you hit something.
Yeah, I didn't have a machine gun. Yeah.
See, that is the other thing though that I do like about the Armored Core is that the making people use all the different tools.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because the difference between that and the Souls games is like in the Souls games you pick something and you max out that. That's your best bet, right? Like if you decide that you're gonna do melee, like this type of weapon, you max out the stuff for that. That's gonna give you your most efficient way of going through the game. You want to do magic, good luck, but also you're gonna have to put all the stuff in magic to make sure that that's effective. And this is like, no, you need to learn how all of these things work. You need to figure out. It's not even about like what's the best combos. It's situational stuff. So
yeah,
like what Zach was just saying about the machine gun. You do that instead of trying to find, lock on and pop them, you spread out. If they can't take hits, then it's not about accuracy. Then it's about just making sure they can't dodge it.
Yeah.
Like I seen a lot of people when I was watching different streams. It's like, man, I see a lot of people using flamethrowers. It's not really one that type of weapon I would go with in a lot of the Armored Core games.
Flamethrower in the game?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't see. I have not yet. I've yet to seen anything called or resemble a flamethrower in the shop or anything.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't even know when you get it, but I was watching somebody do it, and it was like, oh, that's a very smart way to.
But I know there's like hidden crates in every level that unlock extra parts. I've only found one.
Yeah, I haven't found one, and I looked.
I only found one because Jonathan told me, and this was like halfway through chapter 2. I was like, oh, let me look. And the first level I looked, I found one, but I haven't found one since.
Yeah, go back and replay now.
No, I'm not doing that. I don't do that.
Whenever if you go back to the mission.
I guess my biggest gripe of Armored Core 4, 6, whatever the fuck it is you cannot play multiplayer until you beat chapter 2. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
I get the
I only bought the
idea
game to play multiplayer. I had no intentions of playing the campaign. I just wanted to play multiplayer. And now it forced me to play campaign, which is fine, whatever. But it's like, I was getting what part of it I was getting frustrated. I'm like, dude, this game's so simple, and then there's huge difficulty spike, and then it gets simple again, and then huge. It's like, I just want to play fucking multiplayer.
Trying to get to the dance.
They probably try to make sure you have access to all the parts and stuff.
And say parts and some sort of, I won't say like barrier of entry, but like it kind of is. Because if somebody like just couldn't beat the second chapter, they technically couldn't get access to the content.
Probably not going to beat anybody that's sitting around waiting for you in multiplayer either.
You don't know that. I do different against real people than I do against machines.
Mm-hmm. That's just true.
Okay, it's like
especially when the chapter 2 boss cheats.
There you go. See, You can't do that. You can't change directions before you slam down.
Mm-hmm.
Unless those are parts you get later.
Yeah. They do home, though, the bosses, because that was Ace Combat was complaining about that. It was like, I dodged, and he changed mid. Yeah, it's like, yeah. Yeah. I kept telling him, when he pulls out those flame swords, run away.
What you mean?
And he would just do the little short dashes. I know, no. You turn your ass around and you assault rush away.
You gotta get out of dodge for a second.
You gotta get out of there.
Reassess. We'll come back and we'll figure it out.
If you aim those flamethrowers down, get ready to jump. Free advice. So,
was a little disappointed yesterday. Game Pass told me Sea of Stars came out on the 28th.
yeah.
So, after midnight, it's 28th.
Oh, games never. Have you not learned in the last 2 years that we've had Game Pass that they never come out at midnight?
I know in my heart of hearts, it was gonna let me do it. I just wanted to see the intro. I said, I just wanted to taste it out a little bit. Everybody's playing Armored Core. I wanted to taste something new. Okay, I'm playing Baldur's Gate, and it takes me 2 hours to make 15 minutes of progress because I got to reassess and reload. Okay, I'm trying to sneak around stuff, and I can't pass stealth checks, but I don't trust any of my party members because I want me to do it. So I want to try to play something else. I couldn't. I'll play tonight though. Tomorrow, I guess.
I don't have time to play nothing.
Yeah,
unfortunately, but
you got some Armored Core, and you should be happy. You got a chance to do that, and it's my turn.
I mean, I should be into chapter 2 by now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying out Sea of Stars. I'll try it out one day this week. I know. I already pre-installed it, so
yeah. I'm just waiting for the confirmation.
Pre-installed is probably like 5 gigs.
Oh, it was less than that.
I think it's like 3 or something.
Yeah, I was about to say, why would you need to pre-install that? It takes like 2 seconds.
Just in case.
It's already there. Yeah.
No, my goal is to try and beat that before Starfield comes out.
I'll definitely get
trying to beat what game you trying to beat? You talking about Armored Core?
No, Sea of Stars.
Bro, stop it.
Hey, I got 2 weeks?
Yeah,
no,
for Starfield.
Wait, Starfield next week?
Starfield is Friday.
Starfield is Friday.
Not this Friday.
If you pre-ordered like the collector's edition or whatever thing.
Starfield is Friday because you can pay $30 and get the collector's edition bonuses.
Yeah.
So and get to be able to play Friday. I'm playing Friday.
Okay. Are you really?
Oh yeah.
Nah, I'm not.
I'm Game Passing it.
I'm Game Passing it.
Well, see, all you got to do if you got Game Pass,
I can wait a week.
You can just upgrade it.
It's not even a week. It's like 5 days.
It's 5 days too long. I need it. I hadn't pulled the trigger yet.
You need it. You still have to play Sea of Stars and
Sea of Stars be there.
And
that's kind of the way
Baldur's Gate.
Bro, I'm not going to finish Baldur's Gate first and foremost.
I was about to say Baldur's Gate is what you need to finish.
Right,
I'm not going to finish Baldur's Gate.
But you can save $30.
Yeah, and just play Baldur's Gate
and play Baldur's Gate and Sea of Stars until Starfield actually comes out.
Yeah.
It'll all depend on how much I enjoy Sea of Stars because they're both RPGs and I need something that's gonna take my mind off of failing all these rolls. Like my gosh, bro, I got plus 8 to this roll. What are we doing? I can't get 14. I couldn't roll a 6 or higher on 20 die. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's bad.
Like and I use the inspiration to re-roll it still. Like man.
I'll burn 3 inspirations on a fucking roll.
Let's go, baby. On the dialogue option.
Yeah.
Just a persuasion. It has no real long-standing effect on even the outcome of the quest. But I need to win it. I need to know that I won. Oh. Yeah, I'm doing the whatever the stealth part is in the tower, and I'm trying to sneak, and it's gonna be bad. No, it's gonna be bad.
You heard about the Dark Urge?
Okay, so what is it? Because I've heard it mentioned.
It was briefly explained to me. I didn't know what it was. Apparently, when you make a character, when you start a game and make a character, there's like a Dark Urge option.
Yeah,
like your trait or whatever.
No, it's like a character, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you know how you can choose like custom character or origins?
Yeah.
There's in the origin characters, I think. Is it in the origin character? I don't remember where it is.
I think it's in any of them, actually.
You just hit the Dark Urge portrait, and then you create your character.
Oh, okay. So you start off as that's the base.
And basically, it changes, it alters the game, and you'll have like a voice in your head telling you to kill everything.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Do you get like bonuses for doing all of that and stronger or something?
I don't know. I
I
haven't
don't
done
know.
it yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
I planned
that
on
either,
because
but
I had made
seen
basically a dark paladin.
Oh yeah, you were telling me. Yeah,
I made an Oathbreaker, a Drow Oathbreaker paladin with necromancy.
Oh wow,
getting real dark with it.
It's just everything wrong.
I told him he sounded like a last boss. Like he was on the path to doing something great. And
I was like, and then somebody told me about the Dark Urge. I'm like, well, maybe I need to.
Yeah, I
restart
think
the
you
campaign.
should. I think you should add that layer to it. Because if you're gonna go to the dance, you might as well get some punch. So let's go and just start slaughtering the masses.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that.
Just one more thing.
Yeah, I would say put another thing. Look, how are these other companies gonna deal with being able to play the game that many different ways? I mean, like they don't have the ability, or the brain power to even think of something that amazing. So how would they be?
Yeah. And
how are they able to compete?
How dare you expect that from anyone else?
It's like nobody told you that we wanted you to do all that.
No, seriously.
We just wanted your games not to suck, man. Yeah. we don't need 17 origin stories and none of that. We just need the games to not suck, man.
I just need the game to work. Not trying to pile add-on stuff down my throat. Just give me a full game at launch and let me play it.
Well, like Zach said before we get into these Gamecom trailers, like people want to show these trailers about all this like CG and all of this like epic predetermined cutscene stuff. It's like, man, make your gameplay better. Stop worrying about how crisp these polygons look on every single motion capture and all that. Make your gameplay better. Make the game feel better. Make the controls more fluid. Like, focus on whatever you need to do to make your game the best version. If your game is dialogue driven, then stop writing terrible dialogue. If you got action based stuff, make the action feel good and play well, and just do better.
Yeah,
because you're about to get drowned. Because I mean, none of those subpar games that they be making is going to be anywhere near these Game of the Year lists, and sales are starting to reflect it, and
definitely this year.
Ooh, there's not enough. The pocketbook is tight. Okay, we ain't got time to be wasting money potentially. What we got coming up?
All right, so I figure we'll go through some of these trailers. I'm pulling a lot of this from IGN. So
they had the most stuff.
Yeah,
I mean they were there. So
yeah, they had a.
So I'm gonna throw trailers up, and you might have random people talking in between. But
yeah, they were doing like the
sit downs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
some good stuff too.
There's no particular order. I'm just pulling a bunch of stuff that seems interesting.
Yeah,
sure you got the Homeworld 3 one, right?
I do have Homeworld 3 up, and I'm gonna let you have your time while we all take a nap. It's been a
hey
long
man, his brother asked me about not liking Homeworld 3. I was like, I'm not Zach. What are you talking about? Like,
what happened?
So he came in to buy the Switch Saturday, right? And he's like, so why don't you like Homeworld 3? And I was like, first of all, I've never said that. I don't care about Homeworld 3 either way.
I've never said I don't like it. I just like to give Nolan shit about it.
I'm not the one falling asleep every time he starts talking about it. That's not my thing. And then he said the same thing that Nolan said, the Z-axis, and I was like,
whatever.
It changed everything.
It really did.
Bro, first of all, you telling me that there's another thing for me to watch out for in the game? Like that's gonna make me be like, oh, cool, something else somebody can do to me. Like that's not what I think about when I hear strategy games with more things to worry about. That's why I can't play like the King Arthur games and Universalis and all those. I don't want to manage everything. I want to think I'm managing. I want Civilization where I click crop and I get crops, not I didn't go back and tell them to water the crop so they forgot and they dried out. That's what you want to do. Okay, I don't want to micromanage all this, but anyway, got me tight getting accosted about Homeworld 3. All right, this is what I'm here for: shenanigan games, baby. Okay, killer clowns from outer space.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah, the game.
Oh, that's right, Elphonic is. Yeah.
So what is this?
It is another Us versus Them. In similar vein of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The only thing is it appears there's 3 clowns, which is exactly the same as Texas Chainsaw Massacre in regards to the killers, but it doesn't really show how many humans there would be, because there's some scenes where it looks like it's like a dozen people running But both sides can kill each other as well. I'm assuming that it's way easier for the clowns to kill, and they got all these different goofy, funny ways. So I don't know if you two are any fans of the actual film.
Oh, I've seen them when I was
I've never seen
younger, and I hated them.
I don't do anything that hints to horror.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big horror fan. First of all,
Yeah.
and there was just something about the faces.
You don't like the clowns?
I usually don't mind clowns like some folks do, but
No clown phobia?
no.
Okay.
I'm not particularly afraid of clowns. I don't know. I just didn't never care for it. But honestly, this game actually looks kind of cool now that they've actually showed what it is.
Mm-hmm. The that series was like one of the series that I was more okay watching because it was always so goofy. Like most of the 80s and early 90s horror, I watched against my will. I'm not a real big horror fan, but they would be like, yeah, we finna watch Child's Play. I'd be like, bro, I play with action figures all day. I don't want to see this. It's like, yeah, but it's cool, right? The doll is killing people and Puppet Master and all this other stuff. And I'm like, you making any fun time feel like I can possibly get murdered, so I don't really enjoy it. But that Killer Clowns was like, oh, this is super goofy. And then some of the kills and stuff like that would be kind of interesting how they would do it. So just from a nostalgia, it's not really heavy for me, but I think the actual game will be fun. Hopefully it's on like Game Pass or something because I'm not giving them money for that. At least not off top.
No.
I mean, it's just, I don't know.
I mean, it's not my type of game.
I'm not a big Dead by Daylight, Texas Chainsaw, Friday the 13th type person. Like, I see why they're fun and why people enjoy them. They're not for me.
Not for me.
Yeah, I had to tell myself very early in the Friday the 13th that I have to make sure I never take any of those games too serious, because if you try to win, like if you try to expect to win at those games, they become instantly not fun because people are dumb. Like, I understand why I feel like most people would get murderballed by the super serial killer. Not even because they got like extraordinary abilities, but also like people panic. They're panicking with the controller in their hand. If somebody was out here actually murdering people around you, yeah, you're gonna panic. You're gonna break down. But
and I think that's one of my problems with those games is they are purely for entertainment and to have fun. And I'm more of a competitive gamer, and I want to play competitive games. So I think that's why I don't have any joy in it.
Yeah, I have to shut that part off because it's like I still try to win, but it's like, oh, if I don't get it, we got killed. He stabbed me up good. Because the first I think the first week of Friday the 13th was like part fun, but part like, oh my God, do you guys' hands not work? Why are you doing it? He's right there. I'm dead, huh? So I gotta be dead because you just couldn't.
Because you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you put me getting caught in the bear trap because you put the bear trap in front of me instead of putting it in front of the door where he was coming from. So I didn't know. I thought you was him. I'm not Jason. I'm a little white girl. Come on, man. I feel like you tried to kill me. That would be the other thing too, is other people's ability to make you die. It's like, hey man, you're starting to look suspicious. You're starting to like you working with him and not against him. But yeah, it'll be fun. Whenever the Killer Clowns come out. So we got Like a Dragon, The Man Who Erased His Name. So this is the Kazuya Kiryu version where it's gonna be beat 'em up style, not the RPG.
RPG,
yeah, class changing, which I do like more, but I do still like the beat 'em up version. Like the beat 'em up version is fantastic, but I just enjoyed the other one more because of the silliness in it and it's the the story. Kiryu's a more stoic like protagonist. Like he's all just like the honorable man who does the right thing, and also I can punch your head off almost and beat you with like a stop sign. But also I'm doing that with honor. Like I slammed your head in between a car door with honor. Mm-hmm. But there's something ever since he basically went away, because he almost had like a Goku-like issue where people would always come to do the town harm if he was there because all these people from his past kept popping up. So he's like, well, I just got to disappear so that everybody else can be safe type of thing.
yeah.
But that doesn't work. Come on.
The old trope.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the good guy that does bad things, he never stays. Whenever there's peace, finally is reached, he never stays there because he doesn't deserve to be there. He has to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
Always trying to atone. So I have no idea what the story is going to be for him coming back into the light, but they'll make it fun. I'm sure they're going to have, if it keeps the same tone as the other ones, it'll have a serious storyline, and then it'll have you going to do karaoke and like
of the goofy tasks.
Oh yeah, yeah, and the thing I always liked about the Yakuza games is like you get rewarded for embracing the goofy side quests and stuff. Like you really get really good items, and a lot of times you get money and because in one of the games, well, a couple of the games, you gotta run the nightclubs and you gotta hire the best girls, so that means you gotta go out recruiting. It's kind of a little goofy, but then a little greasy. But then he's like, no, we at our club though we don't do that. We not out here banging the customers. We just let them think that they're kind of dating the girls for a nominal fee. No hanky panky.
Well, I think that's actually something that happens in Japanese culture.
Oh yeah,
I think they have those bars where they have.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
they
but
definitely do.
They're not escorts, but they're like
no, they're I forgot what they called them.
they call them soap clubs. But there's a
it was featured in. I don't know if any of y'all watched Tokyo Vice.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big part in that show.
Yeah,
it's really good. You should.
Just like the thing about the clubs on there is like there are some where they'll cross that line, but the clubs that he runs they don't. They always stick by the book and stuff like that. But he also looks like he's got a lot of powers, and that is not something that he has had before. There was the like implication of like spirit and like the man fighting with honor can throw a punch that has like the glow around it, but not for real. Mm-hmm. But now he actually is just
he's just like
gliding and Spider-Man.
Bro, I have no
Shoot
idea.
Webs out of his hands.
Bro, he's got an electric web. He had explosions that was happening. So
he's reached a whole new
level of chi.
Yeah. Well, and it looks like he still got the different because that was the thing. He used to have different styles or like like ones for more quick attacks and stuff like that. Ones for more
power.
Yeah, then grapples and stuff. I always just spec'd into the grapple tree early in the game. So it still has very similar fighting system, which, to be completely honest, eventually the fighting system does become button mashy, but that's usually because you're at the end of the game and your skills are maxed out and you don't really have to actually like try to fight.
Yeah,
you just
square.
Next thing, and it's like, oh, it's a boss. Square, triangle, square. Square.
But I mean, it looks like more of the same, which definitely isn't a bad thing in that case.
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right, so I think this next game is called Off the Grid, and I think it's a brand new IP.
Oh, snaps. Got some Matrix stuff going on?
Off the Grid.
Have you already heard it?
I'm trying to remember if I saw this one.
It's a shooter. I think it's a third-person shooter, too.
Hey, man, we need more of those. I know. Okay,
oh,
yeah. This guy. Yeah, this is very interesting. So is this it's a multiplayer game, right? But is it also?
I don't know. It looks like it's multiplayer. I remember when we first saw it, I said this reminds me of Mag for some reason. Like the landscape reminds me of Mag. Not necessarily. There's not 256 players on the screen, but
there should be. But it also seems like he's fighting against like NPCs at some point.
Almost like Division.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it.
Well, he's talking about cybernetic limbs, and I mean, you got jetpacks. Like it looks.
You got robot arms and legs.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, it looks fun. Everything I've seen of it looks fun. We don't know what the black stuff is. That seems kind of weird. It's like some tar, but it's bubbling. Mm-hmm. But then that looks like he was with some people.
Yeah, it's something to maybe keep our eyes out on.
It looks like there's probably like different ways to build your character to be able to do different stuff. They're showing people running, showing people flying, and
yeah. So something to keep our eye on.
More third-person shooters. I like first-person shooters, obviously, but more third-person shooters is fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always happy to see new IPs, people trying things.
Like, and I hope we keep doing like more futuristic, more like if we're not gonna do present day shooter stuff, do future. You know, do 20, 25 years in the future. Do robot stuff. Like don't put me in 1942. I don't want to do that anymore. I just think that the creativity, like this game looks like super creative. Like they got tripwires and stuff, and I mean, I don't think anybody's really doing stuff like that besides maybe like Rainbow Six.
Yeah. All right, we've come to the time in the podcast where everybody can take a nap if they like.
Oh Lord.
Because we're gonna let Nolan talk like 5 minutes about his favorite game of all time.
And the wax poetic
Wouldn't even take 5 minutes.
You're right.
till you go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Homeworld 3.
Oh, look at that! Come on, man! Come on! Tell me that ain't awesome.
I mean, no, it looks cool. I just don't want to be on the receiving end of any of that because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So the big reveal at Gamescom was the new mode. I can never remember what the stupid mode is called, but it's like they're saying it's like a road-like mode where you can go in with either you or 2 other fleets, and you play the game. Everyone's a little bit different, and you'll earn artifacts every time you play, and that's what you carry with you when you win or lose, and they'll give you different perks and stat boosts and stuff like that. So that's the new big thing that they're adding. I also saw that they're adding a battle pass to this game too, which is like
Getting greasy.
Gotta have a battle pass.
Apparently so, but just otherwise, just the fact that there's a new homeworld is just.
So is this game meant to be played more like versus than solo? Because I thought this was more of a not necessarily only a solo RTS, but like
I mean the old games were always online too, even from the first one. So I mean multiplayer. There's a pretty big multiplayer, like folks out there that to this day still play Homeworld 1 and 2 online. I used to play Homeworld, especially Homeworld 2. I played that a lot online.
a new release date or new release month, February 2024.
No, it's been that for a while now.
Okay.
So where do they play Homeworld 1 and 2 online? Is it like from the nursing home, or do they go like do they go somewhere else to play?
Yeah, it's
Everybody comes in with their walkers with the tennis balls on them, plop down.
wherever you can get your hands on it.
Probably playing on like a TI 83.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to help.
But no, the other big thing about this game is that there's just like more stuff in the map now.
I mean, it looks pretty cool.
So I mean, you can always have like a bunch of ships. If your computer could run it, it would put as many ships as you could afford to build in the game. But back in the day, there were a lot of times it's like you would call out your whole fleet, and it's just like you're playing at about 8 frames if your computer couldn't exactly do it.
Stop motion animation.
Yeah, sometimes, but now there's like because you would play like in asteroid fields and debris fields and stuff like that, but it would usually just be like in the backdrop. But now the stuff is like it's like there, so
Yeah.
you can use a giant asteroid to hide some ships behind, and then bring out your fleet around one side to make the enemies come around, and then bring the other fleet around the top of it and come at them. Or if there's a fleet with something with like a lot of rail guns or something like that you need to hide from, you can fly behind something, let them exhaust their ammunition, and come back and try to do it. So it's adding one more thing to kind of take into account as you're playing this sprawling wide open game, because now the tech can handle a game like this, so they can put a whole lot more stuff into it.
Gotcha.
So but yeah, I can't imagine there's any Homeworld fans out there that are that aren't seeing this and going, "Oh my God, I can't wait." And hopefully there'll be some new Homeworld fans. If you've been keeping up with the Epic Game Store stuff, you could have got the first 2 games for free like 3 weeks ago, and then the last game in the series that they made that was all based on the ground last week was free. So.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, just wait, because either GOG or Steam will put the Homeworld collection on sale for like $3 at some point.
Right before a game, we'll say probably the next the Steam's fall sale.
Oh yeah. So, but if you're interested in like sprawling space operas, kind of in the vein of Dune, like story wise, like kind of weird.
So there is a story component to it.
Oh no, yeah.
Because that was my thing. It's like everything I saw about it, I thought it was one of those like story RTS, and
it definitely is. There's a story and a whole lore behind it and everything. I mean, you don't really need to know it to jump if you just want to jump into a space RTS. You don't really need to know the backstory to it, but if you keep up with it, it's kind of cool. Like I say, it's kind of in the vein of Dune more than like Star Wars. I would say, where it's like galaxy spanning weird stuff spanning over 1,000 years and all that kind of weird stuff. But if you like RTS games and you like space operas, and you like any of that stuff, Homeworld's the way to go.
Nice.
So I'm excited for it. It would have been one of the games I would have made time to play this year, but kind of thank God it got pushed back to early next year.
Zach was trying to help you out, trying to spread out your palette.
Yeah. So it's not competing against Baldur's Gate and Zelda and everything else that came out this year. It could hopefully get a little more shine on its own, but we'll see what it.
It's still gonna get drowned, bud.
We'll see.
I might try it out if it's on Game Pass.
I doubt it'll be on Game Pass.
I know it won't be. That's why I said that.
Gearbox owns it now, so which I'm sure they're the ones pushing for the stupid Battle Pass, but we'll see how that works out.
I'll check it out. We'll see. Depends on if I finished games by then.
Yeah.
By February, you might have just got finished with
crazy thing, we don't even know what's coming out in the first 3 months of next year.
No, we really don't.
You got Tekken 8 and Homeworld.
Tekken 8 and Homeworld's pretty much the kind of 2 big names right now.
And I'm pretty sure there's going to be something that gets announced like near the November, October.
Oh shoot! It might be like in the next few weeks, because Tokyo Game Show, it's like September 13th or something like that.
Is it in September? I thought it was in October.
So that's coming up.
Yeah. So that whole it's just gonna keep snowballing.
Yep. All right. So the next thing is a game that's been, I think they announced it back in 2019, 2020.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
And that's Path of Exile 2. We're finally getting some gameplay longer than a minute. And it looks good.
Yeah. More what's makes Path of Exile good, but looks real smooth. Graphically looks looks nice.
I mean, it's basically like a Diablo clone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's free to play Diablo.
Yeah, and honestly, I thought it was better than when it came out.
Oh yeah.
Up until Diablo 4, I thought it was the best of that genre.
Mm-hmm.
Even better than the Diablos. So.
Yeah, I remember in the early days of the store, I would see you playing it all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this crap?
Playing some Path, bro. Playing some hardcore Path of Exile.
Yeah,
oh no, the folks that play this game, they are into it.
Yeah, I put a ton of hours because that's when
I
started playing right before we opened this place. Yeah.
Yeah, we was, and me and Steven and Macintosh and you and Jonathan online. We was all playing and game killed my character. I'm checking out, man. They play hardcore mode, so you die.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the first game that I've ever done like a hardcore mode. Because I'm the same with like you. I don't want to lose my character.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this enticed me to do that.
Does it get easier each time?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I think the reason it was okay with this one is because it gave me opportunities to try new builds.
And also the game is free to play.
Yeah.
Like that eases me because it's like, okay, I didn't spend $40 or $50 and
You're starting fresh again.
yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. Like the game, like you said, the gameplay of it in the first one was really smooth. Like they had a lot of customization, a lot of like. It never felt like, I mean, I know I died, but like when we were doing the actual combat and stuff like that, I never felt like my build wasn't able to do damage, and you could just switch at the drop of a hat pretty much and just go into a whole nother direction.
Completely retool your character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait. Hopefully, I don't know if they set a date on it yet or not.
I don't think so.
I don't remember seeing the date. But
Yeah, so who knows?
I mean, they're showing a lot of gameplay of it. So
Yeah, it might be another 5 years.
I mean, Path of Exile 1 is still chugging along, right?
All right, so let's talk about something that just came out. I'll let you kind of jump on this one, Darius, because you kind of know a little bit more.
Yeah. Wayfinder, you know, we've talked about it on at least 5 or 6 times. Just to kind of give people a background, it is a MMORPG, but you don't make like brand new characters. You pick heroes basically that they call Wayfinders, and you're basically trying to. It's a PvE game, and you're trying to purge whatever this like growing chaos that's destroying the land and all of that. But it just came out, and it's not free to play. You have to at least pay $20 to get access to it. But apparently they did not anticipate as many people buying it, at least day one, because they launched with very, very terrible and not enough servers basically. So they end up having queues that were based on like 10,000 plus people queues. And one of the things that really soured a lot of people on it was when you first start the game, you pick a Wayfinder, and it has you go through like a tutorial, and it's telling you about the different moves. And each of the Wayfinders have their own skill sets, their own set of moves and everything. And
It's basically your class in a typical MMO.
And when you get to the end of it, it says because you have to use you get a token to unlock one, and you have to use either currency that you buy, or you have to earn enough points to unlock the other Wayfinders. So when you got ready to pick your first one, if you said you wanted to try somebody else out, it threw you back into the beginning of the queue.
The end of the queue.
Yeah. I'm sorry, to the end of the queue. So now you're one of you're 10,000 in the queue of 10,000 after you've only played for 10 minutes doing this tutorial.
And finding out you didn't like the class that you picked at first.
Like this game doesn't have a big room for error, and it looks like it's already burned through a lot of the goodwill that it could have had. And I mean, the part I played of the alpha, because I didn't even play the beta, I only got into the closed alpha, but I mean, it played fine. It was easily played with both keyboard and mouse or a controller. So like it was smooth. I played a couple different characters, and they played fine. Like it seemed interesting, and now it seems like it's having a very terrible start. And usually when the internet jumps on you negatively, it's very hard to come back. So they said during Gamescom that they were opening up more servers, but from what I was reading, people was like, yeah, it went from having 10,000 people queues to having 5,000 people queues. So, which, does speak to...
It goes from 2 hour wait to a 1 hour wait.
Yeah.
Which we talked a little bit about this, was it Friday, I guess? And I don't understand why they don't
overestimate
the servers you need. So let's just say, for example, that they opened up with 20 servers and they have this problem. Why wouldn't they purchase 50 servers, but at launch open the 20, gauge what the queue is going to be like that? Oh, it's a shitload. Let's open more servers, and until you get to where you need to be, where you're comfortable, where there's no queue. Which might be 40 servers. And so you have those 10 extra servers and say, okay, whoever you rent the servers from, talk to them prior to all this. Hey, we're not sure exactly how many we're going to need, but we want to reserve 50, but we might only use 20, 30, or 40. Is there a deal that we can work out? Like, hey, we can use them. If we don't end up using them, we can get a big chunk of our money back from the servers that we rented. So I want to pay you like 10% to reserve these, and then if we use them, we'll pay you,
Yeah, finish it out.
Yeah, because having launches like this is terrible.
Terrible for everybody.
Yeah, because, there'll be people that love your game and will wait through all this mess, but there's a lot of people that if they bought the game, queued up, and it says 2-hour wait, they're just going to refund it.
Well, that and like think about the people who are waiting for first impressions.
Yeah.
Like if you release a game and it's literally Baldur's Gate 3. You release a game and everybody says, no, wait. Hey, everybody, stop what y'all doing. This is really good. You guys should be giving this a chance. Anybody who's on the fence is going to start doing it. And when you start getting all the good traction, what happens? Your game pops up higher on Steam and like everything just snowballs in your favor. But if you do this now, it's snowballing the other way. And I mean, you can put out press releases and you can get the servers after the fact, but like the damage is
already been done.
Yeah. Like I don't know what you do. Like you have to do what they're doing as far as opening up more servers and everything. But like, how do you make the goodwill back up? And I'll be honest with you too, based on what I was seeing from the packages that they have, it's not a cheap game. Like, yeah, you can get the base game and get one character unlocked for $20, but if you wanted to start with, 3 characters, you got to pay $90.
Yeah.
And it's already got 2 season passes built in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It seems like the things that they should have focused on, which should be obvious at this point, they didn't.
It's like we've had so many problems with games launching and underestimating what they're going to launch with. Like, this is not like something that's happened once or twice. This happens all the time, and I never understood it. Like, why do you underestimate your game like
Guess
that?
it is money.
I would say maybe,
and that's what I'm saying. Maybe you need to talk to these companies that run these servers and like come up with a plan prior to it launching, and not be reactionary, but be proactive.
Yeah. And like that's really, that's what it comes down to is like, what are you planning that you felt that you were only going to get that many people and that was going to be enough servers to deal with those many people, and not planning on the possibility of you having a better than expected launch. So it's like you only expected to do that well.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know. There's got to be a better way.
Yeah, there has to be.
We got to do better.
Do better, Wayfinder. But also, I'm not giving you any money. So figure it out.
All right, so let's talk about some new stuff coming out still.
Some good
Back
stuff.
to that.
Murphy.
So what we got here?
RoboCop Rogue City. There was some more developer conversation about things that RoboCop can and can't do in the game. One of the cool things that they mentioned is that the gun is upgradable. So obviously RoboCop's gun is badass without any upgrades.
Right. It's a very iconic gun.
Yes. Yes. And there's going to be ways you can, have armor piercing and explosive rounds and just all kind of shenanigans, which lends itself to be even more fun with all the goriness of the kills and everything. And then you got to have stuff like, because you're not very fast and agile, he's RoboCop, he's a walking tank. You got to have, your health recharges and things like that, which, that's cool with me. Hopefully all of that stuff is upgradable.
I'd imagine it is.
Like cooldown reductions, and maybe you get more health when you do the repair thing.
Yeah.
And obviously the slowdown things probably got to have some upgrades, last longer, recharges faster. By the end of the game, I want to be God mode basically. They did mention the weapons outside of RoboCop's gun. Like, first and foremost, the guy, the developer was saying, like, it's such an iconic weapon and, it's so strong. Why would you want to use anything else? But they're like, they knew people would want to, pick up weapons. So you technically can, you just can't carry them from one instance to the next. So if you're in the first room and you go through the door where it loads, that gun's gonna be gone. But you can grab like somebody's Uzis or assault rifles and all that and use them.
I believe they said there's like a grenade launcher or something like that in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably need for bigger enemies and stuff like that.
To fight them big. What are those big armor things that they was trying to replace him with?
I don't remember what they're called now, but they look cool.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's inevitably going to be like the tough fight. Oh my goodness! Threw a trash can at him.
Yeah. Now weren't they kind of fixed in the second film?
Yeah,
they weren't accidentally killing folks.
Yeah, but they were still. I mean, no human should have control over all them robots, though. Mm-hmm. That was the other part.
But it takes place
between 2 and 3.
Between 2 and 3, yeah. So timeline wise, for all you fans out there.
Oh yeah, and they show more detective stuff, more actual like not combat things. So
yeah, and this is what made me get a little more interested in it. It's like, oh, okay, so it's not just walk slow and shoot everything. That's cool.
I mean, if the game was just walk slow, shoot everything, I would still have a great time. But
yeah,
a break from the action, something to interrupt it a little bit. That's cool.
Investigation stuff, trying to disarm a bomb strapped to somebody's chest.
Maybe we do some negotiations.
Yeah.
I might fail the negotiations, but that's okay. I'm RoboCop.
And didn't you say that you couldn't shoot people that didn't have guns?
Yeah, you don't get to just immediately start popping people in the face because you see them. Like they have to have done something to qualify that type of force, lethal force or whatever. So you might be able to still punch people without them having done anything. But even then, I'm pretty sure because like RoboCop, he does have like controls in place technically.
Yeah. Artificial moral system.
Yeah, so it's like okay, he won't be able to just this isn't Grand Theft Auto RoboCop edition where you can just start the game and be like, hey, it's a guy, shoot him in the head. I got 5 stars now or whatever. So I also think this game isn't going to be full price if I'm not mistaken. I felt like I saw that somewhere.
That I don't know. I remember seeing some game at Gamescom where they announced the price, and I was like, "Oh, it could have been this."
Yeah, it's like a $40 game or something. But even so, this will be a good way to interrupt whatever I'm pretending that I'm trying to beat before the next game comes out. This game makes me wish that like rentals were still a thing.
Yeah, this definitely seems like a rental game.
Like, bro, just a Friday to Sunday extravaganza. I beat it. It was great.
It was fun.
Yep.
There you go. I hope it's on Game Pass.
Hey,
that's basically what Game Pass has become, is a rental.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It functions really well, doesn't it?
Yep.
You want to try something out for the weekend? Here you go.
It's like now, almost anytime I see a game coming out, is it on Game Pass?
It's a good question to ask. I think it's just a great
Especially
question.
if it's something that you're not 100% sure you want to buy,
Yeah.
but you kind of want to try it out. Yeah.
I just want to get a taste. This might be for me. It might not be. Mm-hmm. This got pushed back, right? Stalker 2.
Yeah, this was supposed to come out 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But then
War in Ukraine, man.
Yeah, the Russia-Ukraine stuff happened, and I think their development studio is in Ukraine.
Ukraine, they are defending their country.
Yeah.
Because some of the developers started.
They joined up, man. It's like
they're one of like 3 development companies that I know of.
Did we mention the title? This is Stalker 2 we're talking about.
Yeah. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, which isn't that a Game Pass game though?
I know it was at Microsoft's booth, so it might be.
Yeah, I want to say this was a Game Pass game. Because it was supposed to come out when Atomic Heart was originally supposed to come out, and that got delayed too.
Oh yeah,
even though that's not same issue, but
yeah,
they were supposed to and it's like, hey man, they're getting a lot of these big name first person shooter, but not like traditional first person shooter games at the same time. So maybe it'll be better for both of those titles to come out different times. Gotta get the screws. But I mean, everything about the game, I've been on board for this game for a while. There's no reason why I don't think this game will be a very solid game. Be creepy, definitely gets the Metro 2033 itch scratched.
Mm-hmm.
Which they were at Gamescom, weren't they? What did they do?
They had a booth. I don't think they had like anything playable, but they were there, and I don't know if they're just kind of like talking to people about a game, but
Hey, we still exist.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind another entry into that. I don't know how you can keep making games for it because I thought it was based on the book series.
So this is a game that I'm looking forward to. I know Blasphemous 2 came out on this last week, and I don't know when the fuck I'm gonna play it. But then there's this game called The Last Faith.
Yeah.
Which is that same Dark Souls Metroidvania type 2D platformer game.
That 16-bit Gothic art style is just, oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
My man got guns though. We got guns and swords and shields and all of that, and powers.
Yep. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Just
Hey man,
shout it out real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does look good.
That's one of those games every time I go on Steam and like I don't get as many Metroidvanias as Zach recommended to me. So every time I come across one, I highlight it and it's like, yeah, Zach wants this. Like he's already, because I'll sometimes be like, oh yeah, I wonder if Zach knows about this. It's like, yeah, it's on his wish list. He knows about it. So this is the Hellboy Web of Weird, and this is me and Nolan were talking about it. Like this trailer, there were two trailers. There was a cinematic trailer, and then there was this gameplay trailer, and it don't look bad, but there are some spots where I felt like it didn't look. It looked stiff, as Nolan put it. Like it just. Yeah. I'm not a frame guy, but sometimes it looks choppy.
But it's also trying to be.
It looks like Mad
stylized from the original comics too.
You said it looked like what?
Mad World.
Yeah,
it is a little Mad Worldy. Yeah.
Mad World with color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I forgot about Mad World. Yeah. Oh my god, it's a Wii game, but it's gonna be violent. But we just use black and white, so you can't really see it.
Red everywhere.
Yeah,
yeah. And if you have a component cable, you have to turn the resolution down, or it won't work, which was weird, but whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Every time I wanted to play it, I had to go into the settings and change it, or you couldn't see it. Anyway, but yeah, that's like the big deal about this one is that, you know, the guy that created the original comics is like on board. That's him on the left over there, and so I wonder if like the animation style and everything is kind of playing off of that. It's like supposed to be more of a motion comic type of deal. But I mean, I love the art style.
Yes,
and it still looks cool. I'm definitely gonna give it a shot.
Oh yeah, yeah. The idea that you go to the different stages, and as you go through the stages, you get kind of power ups, and then, you know, so you can kind of change how you are approaching it based on the power ups that are offered and how you're dealing with the enemies. Like that's kind of cool. And I'm assuming that makes it kind of more replayable.
Probably.
Like I don't expect this game to be that long, which is also another good thing. Like there's a good chance I can get through it in, you know, a week or so.
Yeah, I just read something the other day where folks were kind of asking for shorter games.
That's because we just got a string of like super long games.
Yeah.
And Diablo 4 to Final Fantasy 16 to
Tears of the Kingdom,
Tears of the Kingdom,
Baldur's Gate,
bro. I think
now Starfield.
I think Baldur's Gate kind of really threw a monkey wrench in the long games thing, because it was like, oh, we get a little break. No, not at all.
No.
It felt like Baldur's Gate wants to be the longest game.
And I know it will be when I start playing it.
So here's another new IP. It's called Stop Dead. I've never seen this, so.
Oh snap! So it's it's got the gun on a string.
Yeah, it looks a little weird.
It's like first person Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, I did see this.
I mean, not first person Mirror's Edge, but Mirror's Edge. But you shooting stuff and blowing up.
And it's very stylized too.
Yeah, it's like you control stuff telepathically with your hands, maybe.
How you know where to go? You just run straight. But then how you know to jump through the other window but jump over that one?
I think he's just doing stuff.
Yeah.
It says don't stop.
You're probably just always going straight
Yeah.
until you get to certain places where you got to fight.
Got some puzzle solving through a block at the door.
It's kind of how Mirror's Edge was, though. You don't really stop.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
He just threw a cone and made the dude explode.
Strong cone.
You know what this style reminds me of? Killer 7 and 13 and all those types of games. The cel-shaded 3D world.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks cool. Keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I feel like it
Like I
feels
said,
like
I'm
a
always
perfect
happy
run
to
game.
See, new IPs.
Got the world on the string.
October 5th.
Oh, snaps. Super soon.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah, hey, let us know what's gonna happen, and then coming soon.
I didn't know about this until just now. So have fun. What is this? Turok 3 Shadows of Oblivion.
How did I
Okay,
miss
but
this?
like Turok,
Right?
hey man, this look like the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, this is like Turok 2 in a new setting.
Man, I don't know what this
Is this a new game or
I don't
like
know. It was in the same list as all that Gamescom, and
I mean, it's clearly like resolution wise and stuff. It is definitely now,
Yeah.
but it's the
64
original graphics. Like it's a 64
Did they
graphics, right?
stylize it from like 64 era graphics, or is this a game that somebody came back and finished 25 years after the fact?
That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, this looks like somebody.
I mean, it definitely looks like Turok. But
Well, I mean, there's a lot of these games coming out today.
Yeah, we
that
talked
are
about
in this style.
how did I not see this?
This just looks crazy.
Because Turok 2 was actually really good. Well, not really good, but a lot of fun anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had what? The Turok without a number. It was like Rage Wars or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what it was called.
They rebooted this though, right? Like on like the Xbox One.
I feel like they wanted to. I don't know if it ever came out.
Oh, well, man, I'm thinking about the other game with the Native American guy.
Prey?
Prey?
Yeah, I'm thinking about Prey.
No,
Yeah.
there's been a recent Turok too, I think.
I felt like it. I'm
I'm looking it up.
that's 2023. Atari.
Apparently, this was released on the Game Boy Color,
Turok 3.
the sequel to Seeds of... Yeah.
Yeah.
It says... I'm looking at it right now. It says that it came out on the 64 and the Game Boy Color in 2000.
Oh, wow. I have absolutely no recollection
So why are
of
they
that
showing it
all.
at Gamescom?
It said 2023 on the thing though.
So is it coming to what?
I guess Steam.
Steam and
Epic?
I think it says Steam and Epic.
So they're just PC releases?
Yeah, and it's probably. I mean, it obviously looks better than what it would have looked like on the 64.
Well,
As far as the cleaning it up and everything,
Clearly,
and frame rate and all of that.
And then Turok Evolution came out on the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube in 2002.
Okay.
And then a title just named Turok, a reboot that is unrelated to the previous games, developed by Propaganda Games, released in 2008 for 360 and PlayStation 3.
Okay, that's the last one I remember.
And then they have a couple of canceled games. They had one that was supposed to be on the Game Boy Advance that was canceled. And then they had a Turok Evolution sequel that never came out. And also Turok 2, which would be a sequel to the 2008 one that never came out.
interesting.
That's always one of those franchises that you always hear praise about, but I never actually played a whole lot of it outside of the multiplayer of the first one.
Yeah, see, that was the thing too. Is like,
Because I was around the GoldenEye
Yep.
era.
Yeah.
it was a game that I didn't play like the actual stories of any of the 64 era ones.
I just played the multiplayers.
Yeah, like, but then you hear people talking about, yeah, don't you remember that game Turok, man? That's, like, yeah, we played the multiplayer. It's like, no, the story was pretty good. It's like, I'll take your word for it. Just seemed like some dude hitting dinosaurs. I think I played the 360 one. I'm almost positive I played the 360 one and was not happy. Didn't seem that fun.
I just played the old N64 games. I didn't know they made a third one on N64. So
It's 2000.
It came out super late.
Yeah.
When did the GameCube come out?
2001.
Yeah. So it was very end of its life cycle.
It came out in 2000 and you didn't need an expansion pack to play it.
Yeah.
Not even pushing anything.
Yeah, because only 3 games required an expansion pack.
Yep.
All right, so this next game I believe is another new IP. It is called Farah, the Sundered Tribes. Maybe I can hit play. There we go.
What is this? What is this art style? I feel like I've seen it in
It's like a 3D cell shaded.
Yeah. It reminds me of a certain game I just can't think of off the top of my head. But that is very colorful, and it has a bunch of eyes. Star Renegade was pretty fun, but it was a roguelike.
Yeah, I actually played that. It was actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
It was a roguelite RPG, if I'm not mistaken.
This looks very different from Star Renegade.
Oh, yeah. Because Star Renegade was like
16-bit.
Yeah, 16-bit, and it was like time-based, turn-based RPG. I don't know what you call that. Where kind of like was it Octopath Traveler?
Mm-hmm.
Was that time-based RPG type thing? I don't know what you call it. What do you call that?
You mean like when the meters fill up?
Right, where everything's
it's called active
timing-based?
time
Active
based.
time battles, yeah.
Yeah, active time battles.
Okay.
But this looks like a whole like
Action adventure.
yeah. So you got the Monster Hunter-esque type things going on. I guess that's gonna be a new requirement for now all the big monster fighters where you got to have something where you can Spider-Man swing.
I mean, it worked for
Yeah, it did.
Monster Hunter, whatever that last one was called.
Iceborne or something, Icewind Dale.
No, whatever.
Frostborn.
No, that was expansion for
World.
No, the one after World. When it was on the Switch.
The Switch, the one that got
Fucking
ported.
Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah, I don't know. Monster Hunter, the Catalina wine mixer. But anyway, yeah.
Prestige Worldwide.
Why?
I don't know what it's called.
The giant monster thing is, I guess, it's just having some sort of movement thing makes a lot more sense because now you can do on top and behind, and you can kind of get.
And grappling hooks are fun.
They are really fun, right?
It's done right, yeah.
But I don't know if the town building thing will like make up for being able to get into that Monster Hunter space.
But it looks fast. It doesn't look like you're sluggish, which is good.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's always been my gripe of Monster Hunter games is you're sluggish.
Like that equipment is huge and you feel it.
Yeah. It's like why is this reasonable hunting gear?
Hey, you need a giant axe to be able to chop through this monstrosity.
That scene right there reminds me of dang it, what's the EA Mech game?
Anthem.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you see the
scene right there.
Oh yeah, it definitely. Anytime I see what appears to be a player and some friends running to jump into
Jumping
action
off of something.
Yeah, it's like, are they really doing that? Is that actually in the game now?
So I didn't think we'd talk about a Nexon game, but we're going to talk about a Nexon game. This is called The First Descendant. This kind of caught my eye.
Hey, first and foremost, it looked really good. Visually, it is there. Now everything after that, I'm unsure of what
The gameplay doesn't look half bad either.
No, well, it's like
it reminds me of the game on Steam that a lot of people play. It starts with a W.
Warframe.
Warframe.
And I just with Nexon, I'm always very apprehensive because they design games to be very grindy. They don't really like games that,
they like microtransactions, don't they?
Yeah, they love some microtransactions, man. So it's like when I'm seeing all of this, I'm like, okay, so what do I actually get to participate in, and what
do I
is
have to pay for?
Yeah, because this is supposed to be like you pick a hero. Because I saw that they had like the character select screen or whatever, so you're picking different heroes, you're fighting NPCs. Like, what's actually going on and what isn't just something to get me to pay money, more than whatever the barrier of entry already is. And if it's free, then I already know it's going to be pay to win.
And they might need some money because they just went through that lengthy lawsuit with Dark and Darker.
Yep, and did not win.
So I don't know. It's something to keep my eye on.
Yeah,
but taking it with a grain of salt, like.
Which is crazy because Nexon has shown like 3 games this past summer that have been like, oh, what's doing?
They're like AAA titles.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, you finally using some money with that from all those microtransactions.
Like maybe that's what they were for.
All the Dungeon Fighter and Maple Story and all that money and Guns the Duel and
Crossplay beta starts in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
That's the same week as the closed test for Skull and Bones. I can't do it. Was there
a test this weekend? I saw people playing it this weekend
for Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
If there was, I wasn't invited to that one.
I don't care. Anyways, yeah, I saw it this weekend though.
Huh?
People were playing it.
Yeah. Or they actually they're not NDA in it.
Huh?
Ubisoft might have had a thing, and they might have invited certain folks to show it off, like for Gamescom.
Maybe.
That's probably what it was.
Because everything prior to that was all NDA stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm allowed to tell you I'm going to be in the closed test.
I mean, from what I saw, it looked okay, but it looked like a War of Warships Pirates game.
For real?
Kinda, yeah. Again, I don't know why it's just
not for me. It's for somebody, but it's not for me.
I don't know why it's just not Assassin's Creed 4, just the boat stuff. I don't know why it's not that. It's weird because now it's like this first person game. Now, what I did play, I enjoyed. I found it quite fun actually. Once you got the hang of it and got used to it, but I think the game everybody was expecting it to be.
Well, they first showed.
Kind of what they,
they first showed was supposed to be like an MMO type game.
Yeah.
Where you have people on your crew and you guys all work together, kind of like Sea of Thieves but bigger.
Yeah, that's what I was looking forward to. It was like, okay, somebody's gonna be on navigation and we're gonna be down here getting the cannons ready, or we got people doing the rowing and like we all are agreeing to be a part of this pirate ship.
Yeah.
But the more and more stuff I've read and what you talked about, I'm like, I don't.
It basically looks like War of Warships, but in the pirate age. So instead of commanding big battleships and whatever destroyers and stuff like that, you're commanding a pirate ship.
Yeah, I mean the ships get bigger because you start
right.
off
There's
with
different, but it's in that era where it's all wooden ships.
Yeah. But you start off with like basically a raft, like the first little tutorial part. Again, I hope I don't get in trouble for this.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, they don't know who I am. First little tutorial part, you're basically on a raft with 2 other guys, and it kind of gets you used to, the systems of it. But then when you get to the next area, somebody gives you a ship, so it's like a small ship, and then you work your way up to a bigger ship, and you work yourself up to a huge ship. But I know Ubisoft is putting a lot behind it because I think it's going to be like their big game next year. That's the plan anyway, I think.
It's supposed to be their big game next year for a couple of next years.
Well, yeah.
I don't know, man. I just don't think it has the legs.
I think at this point it's been
legs.
It's been kind of shown so long, and then when they did show it, it was different than what everybody thought it was going to be.
From what they talked about, like they actually made a drastic change to the game.
Yeah.
Because what they showed at first is not what we're getting.
Yeah, I don't understand why they did the first-person perspective thing. Because, when you helm the ship, it turns into the ship anyway. So, why not just? I don't understand why they just didn't use Assassin's Creed 4 engine like kind of everybody thought they were going to do.
Let me
see if I can find that.
It's like having something that's good and trying to make it better, but then you keep trying to do stuff to it, and it ends up being nothing like what you started with.
I don't know. I know that they had developmental issues with Assassin's Creed 4 because Assassin's Creed 4 originally was supposed to be Assassin's Creed 3, but they couldn't figure out how to get the boat stuff to work. So, which is why I don't know. I remember playing Assassin's Creed 3 and kind of feeling like this game kind of feels unfinished. It was, because they had to hurry up and rush that game out because what was supposed to be Assassin's Creed 3. That's why, like, timeline-wise, they kind of happen in reverse, because the guy in Assassin's Creed 4 is the guy in Assassin's Creed 3's dad. Because it was supposed to happen first.
Dumb.
But they couldn't get the boat stuff to work. But they eventually fixed it, and Assassin's Creed 4 is widely considered to be one of the best ones. And especially if you don't even care about Assassin's Creed stuff, if you just like being being on the water and fighting other ships and stuff like that. I know folks that only did that. And it's like,
so just take
cool.
that and make a game out of it.
Exactly.
Nah.
It seems like all they had to do.
Nah, not like me. I do it my way.
Well,
now it's first person.
now it's a first person, sometimes third person when you land at a place to go buy stuff. But then again, like I said, when you helm the ship, you turn into a ship. So why not just leave it that way? The last reveal trailer for it was more representative of what the gameplay is. It shows the guy and he's starting off like in rags, and he eventually gets his own ship and gets more and more rich and gets a bigger and bigger ship. Then somebody else comes up and they're both, going off to raid something or something like that. That's pretty much how it is, because there's other players in the game, so it's like a shared world.
Gotcha.
You can go do stuff yourself. You can team up with other folks and go do the bigger stuff. And
well, see, and the thing I thought it was supposed to be where we're on the ship together, but now each person has their own ship.
Yeah,
it's like,
You're not really on the ship, like you are, but you're controlling the ship.
Yep. You're not actually
like
going
a top-down third person view almost.
Yeah. And you're like giving commands to your crew and stuff.
Yeah. So this the official announcement of this game was at E3 2017, and it said the release date was fall 2018.
Woo! Yeah.
Life is like a hurricane here at
It takes place in the Indian Ocean, not the Caribbean.
Okay.
Which I think.
So the swashbucklers of the Indian Ocean instead of the Pirates of the Caribbean.
So easy.
Something went wrong.
What I feel bad about it, maybe I shouldn't. I know some people like, you should feel bad about no companies. Big companies got billions of dollars. Don't ever feel bad. Is there are people that are making that game that have probably realized at some point this has been in development too long, and nothing about development history has told us that having a game be in development longer makes it better. In fact, you reach a point probably about
it's like a bell curve.
Yes. You get to that point where it's like, all right, this is probably the sweet spot within these like number of months, 48 months.
And every game's a little different.
And every game's a little different, right? But then it gets to a point where it's like, if it's been in development for X number of years, it's probably going to be
downhill.
bad. Yeah, there's no way for it to be good based on so many factors, and one of them would be like gaming has passed you by in some form or fashion, and not just from
gaming
visual.
Is vastly different from now from when 2018.
Bro, 2018 game in 2018
was vastly different than it is today.
You're talking about Overwatch being new and being like one of the top dogs in like gaming at the moment, and what Call of Duty, we on Black Ops 3 or something, or Infinite Warfare, or no, actually we're on Call of Duty World War II.
Let me look. Let me see what came out in 2018.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm assuming that there was probably change in heads of development, and somebody else came in, somebody left, or somebody got fired or something. Then somebody else came in. They have to get a whole new team. He wants to change the direction of the whole thing. Then he's gone, and so I bet you that's what the story is going to turn out to be.
Well, and the sad part about that is that it's so easy for you to be able to just like throw out those things, and they be more than likely true because it has happened in so many different other game developments that we find out about, and it's just one person out of like let's say 4 chefs in the kitchen gets changed, drastically changes the direction of the game now.
Yep.
So to give some perspective, so the game was announced in 2017. So let's say they've been working on it for at least 2 years prior. So let's say they started in 2015. games that came out in 2018 that might have changed the way that development went. You got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which completely changed the way Assassin's Creed came out or were made.
Yep.
Sea of Thieves came out.
Sea of Thieves. I bet you that.
Bro, they probably looked around and was
that
like,
was the,
what are we going to do?
Yeah.
They made our game.
Was the biggest thing.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Another big open world game.
Mm-hmm.
But then like I said, gaming has changed so much. You had Smash Ultimate first came out in 2018. You have Monster Hunter World, Spider-Man, Dragon Ball Z Fighters, Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
Fallout 76 was a big flop for. I mean, it's better now, but it was.
Oh no, it was a huge pile of poo.
Black Ops 4.
Yeah, that was the first BR one for Call of Duty.
Yeah. Remake of Shadow of the Colossus came out that year.
Oh hell yeah.
Super Mario Party came out that year.
That's the bad one.
No, that's the good one, isn't it?
No, that's the first one for the Switch. The second one was
Switch.
the one they
That's
put all the old stuff.
Yep. What else came out that year? There actually wasn't a ton of. We're in a very good year right now.
Oh, yeah.
It just reinforces that. Like, there's not really a whole lot else that came out that year that was like.
Yeah, I could see Sea of Thieves coming out that
bet
year, and they're like,
stuff like that.
Yeah, I bet them seeing Sea of Thieves made them go, uh-oh.
Yeah, because when did that come out? What part of the year did that come out? Let's see.
I don't know, but I'm sure they showed it earlier.
oh, I mean, yeah, we would have known about it.
That's probably what caused the shift in development.
It came out in March of that year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So that's probably they tried to shift development to make it a little bit more like that, and then realized they couldn't do it over time. I'm guessing that's what happened.
And that game itself has changed a lot in the last 5
Yes.
years.
It has. Yeah.
like they've constantly just overhauled and retooled and added this and stacked more content on more content. I would and that's the other thing about Skull and Bones is like you have how much space do you really think is in that genre for other pirate games? Like on one hand, there could be a lot of space.
I mean,
for
it could be, but I can't name another one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
I'm almost sure there is. I just don't know it.
it's like you mentioned Red Dead. You mentioned Red Dead 2, right? Like what? Like since Red Dead 1, right? Not Red Dead Revolver, but the Red Dead Redemption 1.
Mm-hmm.
What other cowboy things do we get? What other Western things do we really get?
Oh, almost nothing now.
Yeah, like not and nowhere near. Like nobody's gonna try to make a Western epic.
No.
So you get stuff like Weird West, or you get the
Call of Juarez is the only other thing I could think of.
They tried.
Yeah. And
Turned into like a rail shooter, like the last one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Those weren't bad games.
No, not at all.
Actually, they weren't bad at all. And there was this one game called Gun
Mhm.
back in the day. That
Oh,
game
yeah,
was
Gun.
actually
Oh, yeah,
really
Gun.
good.
Yeah, Guns was really solid. Is that the one that that Capcom made that one, didn't they?
No, I don't think so.
Like they produced it? Or published it, I'm sorry, I said produced it.
I'm sorry, who?
I don't know.
Capcom. Who made Gun?
Yeah, I don't think it was Capcom, but I don't remember. I just remember playing it and going, "Oh, this is actually kind of fun."
Yeah.
Developers were Neversoft. Producers, I don't see the producers or publishers rather. Activision.
Activision.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, Neversoft. That makes sense. Neversoft, Activision.
Yeah.
They were under them for a while. But yeah, like you don't like those types of things like pirates or cowboy. Like there's not a lot of space for a bunch of people. So like, how do they pull the Sea of Thieves crowd away? Like, what do they do that would make people go, oh, okay, I want to do this more than Sea of Thieves? Because to me, not being able to be like in the ship kind of takes some of what I thought I would be doing. Like I want to do the pirate's life thing.
So this is Kat Conti on Twitch. This is who I was watching this weekend play it.
Yeah. See, when you get off the ship, this is pretty much what you get. Just
Little
place
ports.
you can go buy stuff. no real places. There was one port I did go to that was like a little exploration, a very little, where you can get some like free.
Well, it looks like she's like
materials
there's
and
different
stuff.
things you can buy, and there's different types of currency.
Yeah.
Or maybe that is that level that she needs to get. I guess they'll call the money infamy on here.
Oh, infamy, yeah. You'll gain
That's
that
like
by
your rep,
doing
right?
different quests
Yeah.
and stuff, yeah. So there's your map, and you go around and do stuff. I tried to go through like open up like the whole area.
But see how you're like more controlling the ship, kind of
Yeah.
like it's a car,
Mhm.
than like manning like the wheel and the sails and everything.
Well, and then like my thought was, I don't necessarily want to like navigate. I don't want to be the captain. You know what I'm saying? I want to be part of the crew, and I wanted to be able to like join your crew. So it's like, you tell us where we're gonna go, but you know what I'm saying? I'll hold it down over here.
Kind of like a Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, and when it's time to get out the ship and do stuff, we'll go, you know, burn the town down. But don't seem like you might be able to do that.
And I wish we had a Sea of Thieves type game that didn't look like Sea of Thieves. That's one of my biggest gripes about Sea of
Yeah.
Thieves. Is I don't like that cartoony
The aesthetic.
Yeah.
I want something that looks more akin to this, actually.
Yeah.
Like a more grounded, realistic type graphic style. But
Apparently that's much harder to do.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's so much more detail.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more to render and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Probably easier to do it, and that's probably what they found out is like, I don't know if we can do this from like a third person or first person perspective, because like the worlds are going to be too big and there's going to be too much foliage, and especially in these areas that pirate ships are more accustomed to, or they're more rainforesty, tropical,
Yeah, they're doing actual like real.
tons of foliage, and
They're on the coast of West Africa, or coast of Africa.
yeah, like I said, it's supposed to take place in the Indian River, the Indian Ocean.
There's rivers over there. Yeah, don't go over there. You gonna get stuck.
But yeah, I mean,
Good luck to them. Whatever.
I might give it a try when it comes out, and I might love it. Who knows? But we'll see. I'm a big skeptic right now.
Yeah, it was a game that popped up on my radar because, you know, it's a new Ubisoft game, so obviously we pay some attention to it. But everything now is like, I won't pay attention.
They didn't show any of the new Star Wars game, right?
No, I was hoping they were.
Was that Outlaws?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping they would, but no. Only thing Ubisoft really talked about was Assassin's Creed, of course, because that's their next big one coming out. But they also sold Assassin's Creed Jade.
Listen. You know, you want to pull up Assassin's Creed Jade because
Yeah,
I am not.
I'm still a little confused about it.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it at all.
Like, so it's a free to play
Mobile game,
mobile game. Okay,
and
that's what I didn't pick up on.
yeah, it's a free to play mobile game, and it looks kind of like, I understand mobile has its limitations, but a lot of mobile games don't look as choppy as this.
Yeah, I was having to work when they were doing the walkthrough of it, so I didn't see a lot of it. But I heard what they were saying, and it's like, oh, that sounds cool.
And look, if you listen to previous episodes, and you hear us talk about Ubisoft, you might think that we don't like them. It's quite the opposite. It's like we expect a certain level of polish and quality from them because of who they are and what they've produced before. So,
Dude, they had like a 10-year run where all they were doing is
pumping
out
it
hits.
out, man.
Yep.
And
Like,
like
they was
high
getting
quality hits too.
They were doing so good that they turned their DLC into a game, like the Far Cry Blood Dragon. Like, they started turning DLC into full releases because of how good they were doing and just how like well everything was and complete everything felt and fun, and just, I mean, like Rainbow Six Siege alone is a 10-year game basically.
Yeah.
Like,
It's coming. When did it come out?
it's like 2014, 2015.
It's been a while. I'm still waiting on my Rainbow Six game that they told me I was getting.
You gotta let that go,
Six
but
Patriot?
yeah, Rainbow Six Patriot.
It ain't happening.
It's the StarCraft Ghost of games, man, of Rainbow Six games. It don't exist.
Still waiting, man. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
It'll happen one day.
I want a campaign, a single player Rainbow Six.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And like the older games too. Now I liked Vegas.
Yeah.
I actually liked it a lot, especially the first game. I really loved it, but I want like the old style, like the old PC style.
December 1st, 2015.
So we are approaching
Year 8.
but that wasn't even surprising that Rainbow Six Siege was that good. Like everything, it was like, oh no, it's Ubisoft making this Rainbow Six. Like this is what they do. This will be great.
Yeah, it can't be bad.
Yeah, and it wasn't. And then it felt like, for me personally, it felt like the missteps with the launch of For Honor was kind of the signal of things to come.
Yeah, but they kind of turned that one around.
It could have been parallel to Rainbow Six had that launch been better. I think they never really recovered from that initial wave. In whatever competitive scene that they were supposed to have, I don't think it ever really got there.
I know a lot of folks still play it though.
Yeah,
and they're still releasing content for it. So
yeah,
must be enough folks are still playing it. So this is a mobile game.
Yeah, like when there's like a few enemies on the screen and like all the clips on this, they don't show it, but they were showing. There was another, like the developer was talking about it and stuff, and they were showing like, continuous gameplay.
Yeah,
a lot of those enemies, man, it's like, how Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is like the further away stuff was, or when there were so many things on the screen. But I'm like, it was only like six enemies besides the assassin on the screen, and some of the people that was a little bit further away from him was like, It's like,
I mean, it makes more sense for what it is, I guess. But
what is it?
Well, I mean, a mobile game.
They're having a closed beta for a mobile game? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's greasy. So all I can say is that's greasy.
You gotta test it. Because that's my big question. How does the online, I mean, how does the interaction with other players work?
Probably gonna be bad. You're probably gonna see somebody that looks like they're an assassin, and then you're gonna have to respawn.
Because I tried to do the multiplayer in, which one was the one where somebody could be the assassin and somebody was the target, and the target had to blend in and try
Unity?
to escape. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they had a lot of that content was multiplayer, and they had a different little modes. There was the one where everybody was assassins. Huh?
So that sounds cool.
Yeah,
it was actually pretty cool.
The ideal of it was pretty cool, but
Yeah.
one of the things I remember with that was, you remember the Jester?
I remember something about a Jester.
So you could, if you pre-ordered it, you got the Jester. It was like, you can buy it for $5 or whatever it is, but if you pre-ordered, you got the Jester. And it was way better than everybody else in multiplayer. Like his kit was, because each character had different abilities. And whatever, I can't remember exactly what he did, but I just remember it being like really, really strong. So you go into the lobby and everybody's picking their character. And I think it was like a 6-person lobby, and it'd be like 4 Jesters. It's like, okay, this isn't very balanced at all. So. But there's way too many games for us to cover before it's time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to close out like 4 or 5 trailers just because we're running out of time this week, and
there's just like I said, they weren't huge games, but they were all like, there was a lot of solid stuff being announced. So it ended up being a really good conference.
How much stuff was announced at the Future Game Show alone?
Yeah, like those are like brand new announcements, and like you said, new IPs being popping up and stuff like that. So there's still going to be a lot more to look forward to.
Yep.
And we're going to get ready to play some Sea of Stars. I'll let y'all know how that is, the 2 hours that I play.
Definitely going to try it out. Then
keep getting cooked on Armored Core.
Starfield next. Well, until then, yeah. Probably won't even get a chance to play that until hopefully tomorrow night. We'll see. I'll probably be here. Dang it.
Oh, poor Nolan. You have to be here.
Well, it's all the other stuff leading up to it. Trust me. So yeah, but yeah, I'll definitely jump back into Armored Core because I do want to try to finish that before I can get my hands on Starfield next week.
How about you, Zach?
What? I'm sorry, I missed the question. I was looking up a meme.
Okay, well, we were just we were saying you're getting ready to try to play some stuff before Starfield comes out. So you jump back in the Armored Core, get cooked some more, or you jumping into multiplayer now?
Bro, I don't know because I started playing Marvel Snap.
Well, you gotta let that go.
Dude, I've put in a lot of hours into it.
You have?
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to play some games.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we're all having fun, I think that's the most important.
When does
thing.
Starfield come out?
Next
This
Tuesday,
Thursday for early access. Next Tuesday
I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday.
for everybody else. Yeah.
Okay. So I have lock-in to try and knock out some of this stuff.
Good luck.
Yeah, it'll probably end up me just sitting here playing Marvel Snap.
Playing Marvel Snap. Exactly.
Quick game, quick
I
game.
could probably play. That's probably when I'll start Sea of Stars, honestly.
Oh, that would be a good time to start it.
Yeah, I'll start it, and then Starfield will come out, and that's probably what I'll play all the way through the rest of the year. And then I'll go back and say, "Oh, I need to play this Sea of Stars game," and it won't be on Game Pass anymore.
You had your chance.
And if it is, I'll have to restart it because it's been so long since
Yeah,
I played
yeah,
it. I
well,
don't
you
even
already know that.
what was happening anymore.
You know, load a save up. You're gonna be like level 8, and you're gonna be like, I don't even know what this place is. And,
Yep. Who is this Billup guy? I don't know.
Yep. All right. Well, appreciate everybody hanging out with us this week, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Crossover combination.